welcome to our live tonight. I am so freaking excited to be here with you to spend these next, whatever time we decide to talk. Like, you know, it's our time. We can do whatever we want. We've got the screen. Anyway, welcome to the live tonight. My name is Carmen. If this is our first time ever meeting, I am an expert trainer with Destiny Global, and where we literally help people every single day, every single month have success not only inside of the home, but outside of the home. So what do I mean by that? Well, we help moms be more fulfilled as a mom. We actually, before I even became a mom, I learned foundational principles and truths through a product called Grooming the Next Generation for Success, where even prior to having little tiny babies running around, I was able to learn skills to help me succeed at it. So we help mothers inside of the home. We help mompreneurs. We just got done with a mompreneur masterclass where we equipped a whole bunch of people to have success in the home and outside of the home. We had Mr. Carmen Oquinn last week teaching on scripts. If you missed that live video, make sure to go watch that. He showed how he has literally used scripting to build a business that went on to do more than $100 million. Craziness, all using scripts. Isn't that nuts? But my point is, the company has been in business for 30 years, impacting lives around the globe. And I'm so excited that we get to spend this time together tonight where we're going to be talking about time. We are going to be talking about three strategies to maximize the time you have. Not to create more time, but to maximize the time you have. Because have you ever noticed that, and I don't know if you've ever been like me, but there's been times and seasons where I was just like, darn it, is it really 8 o'clock already? Can I have another 2 hours? And no matter how much you wish, no matter how much you hope, no matter how much you pray, did you ever get more time? I did not. I never got more time. So it's not about getting more time. It's not, because we all are guaranteed 24 hours in a day. But have you ever also noticed that there are people on the planet that are unusually crazy, out of this world successful? They are crazy, unusually out of this world productive. There's just people that get a lot done. And there's definitely been seasons in my life where I've gotten a lot done. And then there's also been seasons in my life where I haven't. So it's not about getting more time. It's about taking the time you already have and maximizing it. It's about taking the time that you already have and learning how to use it as a tool to go out there and not only get the life you want, but start creating it starting tonight. And so make sure to hang on till the end, because we're going to be going through 3 strategies to help you maximize the time you have currently, whether you have a little bit or you have none of it. You have like no time. We're going to show you how to create time out of thin air. And the third one is a trap that most people fall into. So you're not going to want to miss that one. So let me just say, time management used to be my nemesis. So this used to be one of those things early on as an entrepreneur. When I first got started in business, I heard the saying that what you lack in skill, you make up in numbers. So in my 20-some-year-old brain, what that meant is just work a lot, become a workaholic, and what I lacked in skill, I'm just going to throw hours at it and I'm going to have success. And I did. I got my business up to $720,000 per year in my early 20s, but I was stressed out. I was burnout. I was working 80 to 90 hours a week. I was living to work. Every single day, including the weekends, was wrapped up in work. Vacation, time off, even when I would try to take a vacation, my mind was consumed with working. It was consumed with my to-do list. It was consumed with my tasks that were not getting done. I was a slave to work because I didn't know how to manage my time. There's a lot of skills that you can learn to help yourself succeed. There's a lot of skills that you can equip yourself with to make life easier. But what I'm going to tell you is this one, time management, learning how to manage your time, is by far, I'm not going to say the most important, but it's pretty much the most important skill when it comes to success. Time is your most valuable commodity. And the way time works is everybody outside of your house, even inside of your house, is trying to steal it. Everybody's competing for your time. TV is competing for your time. Friends, family members, kids are competing for your time. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know why whenever I think of TikTok, I always want to like do a jig or do a dance because I always see people dancing on TikTok. I know they do more than that. Anyway, everybody outside of you is literally competing for your time. And the way I look at time is I look at all these things as thieves. A thief in the night to come take my time. And here's the thing about time. If you do not learn how to protect it, if you don't learn how to protect your time as your hottest, most valuable commodity, other people are going to be able to take it. So my hope and prayer tonight is that you're able to come here, we're able to spend this time together, and when you leave, even if you just picked one thing that you're going to implement leaving here tonight, then your life, you're going to start seeing fruit from just applying one thing. If you apply two things, well, I mean, you can do the math. You'll see double the fruit. If you can apply the three things we're going to talk about, triple the fruit. So let's go ahead and jump in. So our first one I want to talk about is how to find more time inside of your day. How to find more time inside of your day. And just I want to pause for a moment. If you're sitting here thinking, Carmen, I've heard these time things before. Oh, I just suck at it. Time is it's like my Achilles heel. That's how I used to feel as well. I had tried other time management courses. I had tried calendar mapping. But when I stopped saying how bad I stunk at it, when I stopped saying that it was my nemesis, when I stopped saying that, I'm not good at managing my time, is when I actually started getting better at it. When I made gaining the skill to manage my time a non-negotiable, is when I actually started getting good at it. And we actually, at one of our training events called Creating a Dynasty, we go through an entire segment on how to actually do it. Like, it is a whole segment where we show you how to map out your time. I'm not going to get into all that because that's not what we're here for. My point is, it's a freaking intensive segment. It's an intensive training where you will leave with a blueprint on how to become successful and actually become a master of your time instead of it mastering you. So back to number one, how to find more time inside of your day. Because all of us have 24 hours in a day. In fact, if I come over here, we all have 24 hours in a day. And all of us have 7 days in a week. So all of us are given, if we take 168 hours per week. This is what we have, 168 hours. It's a lot. And at Creating a Dynasty, we actually break down where this time is going and how to use it and all of that. But 168 hours. So my question to you is, in your 168 hours, what of that is going towards building your goals and your dreams? And how much of this, what percentage of this 168 hours is filled with time wasters? Things that you're doing, but that aren't moving your life forward. Things that you're doing, but that are wasting time. Areas where other people, like Facebook, are coming in and stealing your time. Instagram, coming in and stealing. This thing right here, this little thing right here, this little phone. For most of us, and especially for me, when I first started figuring out how to find more time in my day, it was stealing time back from this. Because this little box called my cell phone was stealing hours of time every single day. Hours of time that I was wasting on my phone in a day that I could steal. Think about it. If you're wasting 1 hour a day and you start taking the hour wasted and you start now and you're moving the hour from being wasted to specifically putting it towards time that's going to build your dreams, that's going to build your income, that's going to build your relationship with your spouse or your kids or your real estate business. Or you start to imagine taking that hour that you're wasting on the cell phone and actually putting it into training, watching things here on the Destiny Global page, watching things that are actually going to move you forward, move your life forward, closer to your goals versus away from that. So number one is actually recognizing, where am I wasting time? where do I have time wasters? Where can I go steal time from where it's being wasted and start allocating it to places that are actually going to build my goals, my dreams, and my business? So that's tip number 1. Number 2, avoiding the biggest time trap. I know you're in your home. I'm here in the studio at the Destiny Global headquarters, but we're together through a screen, right? No matter where you are in the world, we are live together right now through a screen. So I say all that to say, if we hang out enough, you'll learn this. I'm kind of an interactive gal. I move around a lot. So you can, if you see me raise my hand, don't make me look stupid. Don't leave me hanging. You can raise your hand with me. It don't matter. Your 12-year-old's going to say, Mom, what are you doing? I'm gaining skill. I'm learning how to avoid the biggest time trap. And studies have shown when you actually participate with your smile and your body language, you actually get more out of it. So how to avoid the biggest time trap. How many of you watching right now, by raise of hand, or you can comment down below. One of the guys over here, he's like, actually my husband over here, he's like, thanks, babe. So how many of you would want to learn how to avoid the biggest time trap if you could? Anybody? And you can comment down below during the live. Yes. That's like, I guess, your virtual way of raising your hand. You can comment down below. Yes, I want to learn how to avoid the biggest time trap. Setting your priorities. Setting your priorities. Because when you have no priorities, what happens is you're taking a bunch of spaghetti, you're throwing it against the wall, and you're hoping, stick. Come on, you stick, oh, stick. You're throwing crap against the wall, and you're hoping something sticks. You're falling into the time trap of just letting your time go where it wants to. And if you don't direct your time with where it should go, then it's just going to go all over the place. If you're not intentional with where you choose to invest your time, because where you choose to invest your time is where you will see fruit. It's where you will see results inside of your life. But if you're just like a shotgun with your time, stuff goes everywhere. You make a mess. Have you ever made a mess? I could put both hands up and both feet. Oh my good Lord, I've made lots of messes. So it's recognizing what are your priorities. And when you say your priorities, what that really does is it's telling you the order in which you're going to do things. It's telling you the order in what tasks you're going to do. So when something is a priority, you run every decision through your priority. So let me give you an example. Okay? Because here's the thing. We recognize we have 168 hours in the day. So now what are we doing with them? How are we prioritizing what we're going to do with those 168 hours? So we're going to write this up here. 168. It seems like a lot, doesn't it? Like when you think about the fact that you have 168 hours in a day, it seems like a freaking ton of time. But time flies. It flies. What do they say? They say the days are long, but the years are short. The days are long, but the years are short. That is totally true. If you have kids, you know I'm telling the truth. So your priorities. So what are your priorities here on earth? So let's think about it. You have, if you're somebody who, is spiritual, you have God, something. You have a spouse. You have kids. You have work. You have extra, we'll say FF, family and friends. You have, let's just say yourself. So all these things are things that take up your time, right? You have the house, keeping the house clean, the house projects. All these things are things that take up your time. So it's listing them in a way, what are your priorities? What are you going to prioritize when it comes to getting something done first? So for me, it's God first, myself second, my spouse third, my kids fourth, work fifth. When I first started learning, when I first started learning time management, this one right here, work, was my biggest priority. It's what I planned first. It's what I thought about most. It's what I wanted to do, because when I wasn't doing it, I felt like I was getting behind. When I wasn't doing it, I felt like when I was spending time with my spouse, I was thinking about work. But when you start prioritizing And at Creating a Dynasty, we go through exactly how to do this. We go through the pitfalls where most people mess this up and how not to mess it up. But it's a great start for you just to look at this and go, what is my priority? What is my highest earthly priority? Is my spouse a bigger priority over work? Are my kids a bigger priority over work? And just because your spouse is a higher priority than work, doesn't mean you spend more time with your spouse. It means it's what you put on the calendar first. So when I'm doing my calendar every week, my date night with my husband takes much less time than work. But when I'm putting it on my calendar, my date night goes on the calendar first. My time with my kids goes on the calendar first. My daily workout goes on for myself, to keep myself healthy, to keep myself strong, goes on the calendar before work. And when you start making these priorities, when you start prioritizing what is important, you're running every decision through that priority. And all of a sudden, things get really clear. All of a sudden, my house, which is way down here, what's a higher priority? My house being spotless or my kids? My house being spotless or work? My house being spotless or, honey, those clothes being folded can wait. We're going to spend time together. Versus, no, babe, sorry, this house has got to get cleaned and then maybe we can go spend some time together. So I run that decision of folding the laundry or spending time with, what are my priorities? And there's times where sometimes I'll fold laundry and we'll talk. So I'm doing both. But my point is every single decision I'm making is being ran through these priorities that are here on the board. All right. And then when you're doing this, last thing I want to say on this before we move to number 3 is when you're doing your priorities, it's also big picture thinking. It's big picture thinking because there might be some weeks where you have a deadline where let's just say something, actually, I'm going to wait on this because number 3 is going to talk about this. So what are your priorities? Leaving here tonight, making a list of what are they and really thinking about it. And for me, this has changed a little bit over the years. When I first started doing this in the beginning, myself was nowhere on the list. I had God, my spouse, my kids. I was 288 pounds. I was morbidly obese. I was unhealthy. Why? Because I didn't prioritize myself. So it took me a couple years after learning time management where I was like, wait a minute, I can't pour from an empty cup. If I'm not prioritizing myself and my health, if I'm burning the candle at both ends and I'm running around on empty, can I really give to my husband? Can I really be the best version of myself for my kids? So it wasn't until that I started prioritizing myself, my health, that I actually lost 161 pounds. Went from a size 22 down to a size 2. Why? Because I decided that I was a priority. Prior to that, I would start diets. I would start all these things, but I wouldn't meal prep. I wouldn't take the time to work out. Why? Because it wasn't a priority. See, we make time for the things that we choose to prioritize. It's not about finding the time. It's not about having more time. It's about making the time for the things that really matter, for the things that are important to you. So our third and final point for tonight is the right way to get stuff done. We're just going to say stuff. You can insert whatever words you want to put in there. The right way to get stuff done. Because what most people have in life, and I'm betting you have one of these, depending on your personality, you might have 3 of them. Anybody have a to-do list? 2, 3, 4, 10 of them. So most people have a to-do list. Okay? They have a to-do list. And the to-do list looks something like this. Organize my closet. Give the dog a bath. What are some of the things, tell me in the comments, what are some of the things that are on your to-do list? Someone might have it on the to-do list. You're going to go get a manicure this week. You're going to mow the grass. Way down here, number 5, let's just say on our to-do list, we're going to call 20 clients. Number 6, tell me, make sure you tell me what's on your to-do list. So my point is you're going to have a whole list of things. Wash the sheets, organize, garage, send out thank you cards to clients. So we have a to-do list. And on that to-do list, and some of you I know have many, some of you have the home to-do list, you have the work to-do list, you have the house project to-do list. But my point is we have a to-do list. And the to-do list normally is filled with things, right? Things that need to get done. And so how you become a master at getting the right way to get stuff done is by picking the right tasks to do. So when you look at your to-do list, how most people approach a to-do list is they look on here and they go, okay. And sometimes, have you ever put something on your to-do list just so you could cross it off? You're like, okay, I'm going to get gas as you're at the gas station. And then you're like, whoop, I got gas. So what most people are going to look at their to-do list and look at is they're going to go to the tasks first that they like to do. The ones that they, the least amount of resistance, the ones that were like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and get gas. I'm going to go get my manicure. Yes, I'm going to get my manicure and mark that off my to-do list. But what I can tell you is by looking at your to-do list and marking off the things you like to do is not going to help you get the life you want. Did you hear me? By marking off the things that you like to do is not going to help you go get the life that you want. When you look at your to-do list, it's about figuring out which things on here, running all these through your priorities, and getting a manicure. Now, I know someone could say, oh, Carmen, that's me time. Maybe. But which one of these tasks are going to help get you closer to your goal? Which one of these tasks line up with your priorities? Which ones are going to create the biggest result, the quickest inside, and not even say the quickest, which ones are going to create the biggest result inside of your life? So for most people, if you look at this list, which one are most people going to avoid? They're going to avoid the one that takes work. So right here, calling 20 clients. Some of you have things on your to-do list that have been on there for weeks, months, years, because you keep moving it from week to week. You keep moving that thing. Okay, I didn't get it done this week. You have a perpetual thing that just hangs out there. So what I'm going to tell you is don't look at your to-do list and look at it from the fact of what you like to do or what's the easiest. It's what's going to create the biggest result. Most people spend 80% of their time on their to-do list checking off things that don't help their life move forward. But it makes them feel good because they checked it off. And I get it. I do it too. But this week, right now, tonight, get out your to-do list. And don't look at it from the point of, what do I like to do? What do I feel like doing? Your feelings don't get a vote on moving you towards your goals. Because have you ever noticed your feelings are going to lead you away from your goals. They're not going to lead you towards your goals. So your feelings don't get a vote when it comes to your to-do list. Making a choice to move closer to your goals, to your dreams, to the life that you want to live. Getting yourself off of the sidelines and getting yourself into the game. Creating a testimonial in your own life where you would actually have so many results that you would actually you would become a master of this time management piece. So much so that you go from running around with a chicken with your head cut off, not being fulfilled, no peace, stress to the max, anxiety, complaining that you don't have enough time, to actually becoming the master of your time, to actually making time your slave, making it go to work for you to start producing results in your own life. That's what's on the other side of you mastering this. The life you want, the life you deserve, the life you've been longing for, the life you've been watching other people go out and get. Now is your time. It's time to get off of the sidelines and in the game. It's time to start becoming the person, creating a life that would be so extraordinary that other people would see your life and go, how? What are you doing? What has changed? And can I tell you this? It doesn't take a long time to change. The difference of where you're at and where you want to be, where you're at and where you want to be with your time is literally just a couple simple steps. Nothing hard, nothing complicated. It's not rocket science. It's a couple simple steps. And that is it. And so this week, as you're looking at your to-do list, what's going to move you closer to your goal? Not what's the easiest. This week, it's about, we go back to number 1, how to find more time in your day. So finding the time wasters. Finding your time wasters. Avoiding the biggest time traps by setting your priorities. Because when you look at your priorities, I have a feeling most of us are not going to list on our priorities scrolling Facebook. That doesn't get listed as a priority normally. Unless you're single and you don't have kids, and you have a lot of time. And I'm not jealous because I love being a wife and mom. But sometimes I do think about, man, do you remember what it was like, babe, to leave the house with no kids? It was like, hey, you want to go get dinner? Okay, let's go. Now it's like, you want to go get dinner? You got to, anyway, pack up half the car, and we're almost out of the diaper bag stage, though. Yes. Every time you get stages with kids, it's like a new freedom, right? Although I'm not rushing it. She's our last one. Part of me's like, she's going to be potty trained. Oh. So how to avoid the biggest time traps. And finally, the right way to get stuff done. And as you start applying these in your life, notice I didn't say applying them perfectly. Just applying them. Go make a mess. Because everything in life is figure-outable. And as you begin to apply these, you will start figuring out what works. You'll start figuring out, oh, caca, I did that and that didn't work. Let me go back and try it again. And then you're able to come back to this page and you're able to watch this video again. As you apply, watch again and be like, okay, what did she say about this? Sharpen your skills some more. In fact, I want to invite you to meet me back on this page every chance you get. That when you would find out that there's a live going on or that we have some free training going on, that you would make a date in your calendar, that we would be virtual BFFs, that we would be spending time together on the regular, that you would be watching Mr. Jackie Oquinn when he's live, that you'd be watching the CEO, Mr. Ken Brown, every week when he's live for Coffee with Ken. And for those of you that really want to pour gasoline on this fire that you started, because tonight, make no mistake, you've started a fire. You got some kindling in. You learned some skills to move you forward, but there's more. This is just the beginning. For those of you that want to pour gasoline on the kindling and you want to go faster than you've ever went, I want to invite you to join me at Creating a Dynasty, which is our advanced leadership training event that takes place once a year. And it just so happens that it's coming up in a few weeks, November 12th, 13th, and 14th. There's going to be a group of us gathering virtually. Which the beauty of virtual is you can get yourself, some friends, you can go to a watch party, you can watch it in the comfort of your own home without having to deal with airplanes and travel and hotels, while getting yourself equipped to become a master of your time, making time your slave, no longer having it be your Achilles heel. That when our country is in a time of uncertainty, you are certain of where you're going, who you're going with, and you're certain that you're going to move your life forward on purpose and not on accident. So thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've loved it. Thank you for all the comments. I see all the shares. Thank you for all of you, all the hearts, all the thumbs ups, all the whatevers. And thank you for sharing this message and helping us change one life at a time. We'll see you on the next one.